Hi, Dorothy Rowe here. This video is an explanation in detail about the archive of the ancestors in the family treasury with a healing included. So the archive of the ancestors is found physically in the body, in the DNA. Your DNA is the physical expression of the consciousness of all of your predecessors. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because so much of the deepest energy healing involves looking for the seed or the source of imbalances in the body. And often they can be found in remote locations that we might not otherwise explore, and ancestral archives is definitely one of those locations. So what that means is sometimes you can have an experience that feels like your experience, but when we go searching for its core, we find that actually the thoughts and beliefs and feelings that are behind that experience were inherited. So to heal that experience, it becomes necessary to enter with awareness or attention into the archive of the ancestors and deal with that particular problem from its source. So the archive of the ancestors is physically found at the molecular level of the physiology. As we work in that area, we're actually working with the DNA directly, and the DNA has the capability to replicate, transform, and repair itself. So we know that the DNA is changing all the time anyway. It's not any big deal to support that change in the direction of your highest potential by doing some energy work in the area. So anything we can do to support our ancestors is supportive of the DNA itself and helps release or repair any corruption that may have gotten into that particular part of the physiology. There is one requirement, or I would say prerequisite, for entering the archive of the ancestors, and that is that one only enters for the sake of all good for everyone. So the intention of the highest good, basically. The other thing is that it's very appropriate when entering the archive of the ancestors to begin with homage to the ancestors, to begin by offering gratitude and appreciation. Life in a human physiology wouldn't be a reality if it weren't for them, regardless of their details. It is what it is. So, ancient offering of gratitude known as tarpanam, rice, sesame seeds, and water offered at the new moon can be offered energetically, at whatever new moon has the best alignment for each ancestor, with the intention. That is, the causal and celestial levels of the physiology rise up, they activate for the specific purpose of offering homage to the ancestors. There are also locations in the celestial realm of creation which are better for making such offerings than others. So you could think of these as temples to the ancestors that reside in the causal level of creation. So the offerings can be made in those locations where the laws of nature are maximally supportive of those particular offerings and for your particular ancestors. And so as I'm speaking this is taking place for everyone watching the video. Thank you for being with me. Within the context of the ancestral archive, if we think of the DNA as a double helix strand that's wrapped around a kind of a central silence, a silent central spindle that runs through the center of the DNA, that space is the home of what I call the family treasury. The family treasury is an extension or an aspect of the Akashic record. It contains, think of it like a chamber in the ancestral archive. If you're experiencing your ancestral archive on the level of consciousness now, what we're doing is we're moving into that deepest inner chamber, where the stories of the spiritual evolution of each lifetime are held. Think of it like a Reader's Digest version of the overarching evolution of the soul in each physiology. It's so rich. It's so precious. I call it the family treasury because it's like a treasury. It contains the very, very most precious aspects of each ancestor's life. And from this location, well, two things are happening. One, from this location, it's possible to draw upon all the wealth of experience that is contained within the collective of your ancestry. That's number one. The second thing that's happening is, as everybody's ancestral archive is becoming activated through this healing, the ancestors themselves start waking up. Any ancestors who are compassionate and empathetic enough to enter the archive with the intention of all good for everyone can do so. And what this means is that the DNA switches over to a more active state where it produces loops of self-healing, that the ancestors are able to forgive each other and love each other and complete incompletions with each other. They're able to share their wisdom and knowledge with each other, and they're able to uphold and support the full potential of the evolution of the human DNA. The more points within the DNA, the more of your ancestors who are engaged or involved in the healing of your DNA, the more and more of them come online and also engage. So it becomes like a snowball rolling down a hill, that the longer you the longer you support your own engagement in this process, the greater support there is for the DNA itself. So self-perpetuating. So even when you're doing something else, your ancestors might be online, or they might be active in the field of your own physiology, supporting and upgrading the entire system from the molecular level. All right. So thank you for being with me. And next time we will go into more details about the most common imbalances found in the ancestral archive. Thank you.